It's not at all clear to me that the SEC has a role in regulating cryptocurrencies. Cryptocurrencies are not securities, and the SEC regulates securities. So that's not at all clear to me that follows. And I'll be watching very, very closely to see what the SEC does.
Okay, so one of the reasons that Bitcoin is down the last couple of days is because of people's interpretation of the Chinese government's being believed to have said we're basically banning crypto. So you could get a lot of clarity and price stability by just knowing that the US government wasn't going to ban crypto. And this was a point that I made when I was still in government, was to say nobody's going to ban Bitcoin. All right, there's a $2 trillion asset class in crypto that's not going to go away. So let's start by saying it's okay to be in the asset class. And then what somebody needs to say is, if a crypto token is a security, for instance, that doesn't mean it's illegal. It just means that, like other securities, there are certain disclosures and registrations that have to be made. And we need the SEC to create a pathway for that to happen. And if you think about the Ripple litigation, Romaine, people wouldn't be in a panic about it if, in the event Ripple lost, they could simply register the token and trade on a securities exchange. The problem is that hasn't been allowed yet.
So I was very pleased to hear in your opening remarks that the Fed plans an open dialogue with the public and with stakeholders regarding CBDCs and as well as cryptocurrency generally, and I think that's much needed. And I'm very proud of the fact that the Boston Fed, under the leadership of Eric Rosengren, has been working with MIT in their cryptocurrency lab on working on this digital dollar for the United States and for the Fed. I am a little bit worried about the pace, though. We see, I think there's 86 separate central banks that are already engaged in this. Do we risk sacrificing the primacy and the reserve currency status by I think some would argue slowness in response to this, and does this dialogue that you envision stretch out the timeline for adopting, say, a digital dollar for the U.S.? Does it delay that considerably?
I would agree. No, actually, I think the opposite. I think this is the beginning of what we think accelerating that decision process. We have a lot of work left to do on the technical side and on the policy side, but a critical part of it is just the public consultation. But on reserve currency, the U.S. is the reserve currency. There really isn't a good competitor out there, because all the things you need to be the reserve currency, really, the United States has it. We're not in danger of losing it. Certainly not to China, which doesn't have an open capital account and that kind of thing. It's the kind of status that, as you well know, lasts for many, many years. So I'm not concerned about. I'm really concerned about getting this right. It does carry risks. It does have benefits. It's quite specific to the institutional context of each country, and I want to get it right. We are the reserve currency. You know, we have first mover advantage by virtue of that. So I think it's way more important to get it right than it is to do it fast.